Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Viewers, today we are discussing a guide to publish in impact factor journals, and this is like a useful. This video contains useful tips. Um, uh, so, based on this video, you will be able to select possible journals for publications. So in order to get useful videos, you need to subscribe EBEFoum. The first thing that we need to like clear that what kind of paper we are going to publish. Usually, most of the times paper fall in three categories, that are the short communication. Sometimes we are writing review papers or meta-analysis, and sometimes we are writing full length paper. So we need to firstly clear that what kind of paper we are publishing here. So that's what we need to be clear. So mostly paper fall in these three categories, and then based on these type of paper, you need to decide whether a journal that we are targeting is publishing this kind of paper or not, because that's going to help us a lot. Because sometimes with what happens, we develop a review paper and we send to a journal, but that journal is not publishing review papers. So it means that is a wastage of time. So the time, for example, couple of months that we spend on submission and then waited for that, so that's going to waste our time. So that's in such a way, like we waste our time, and then we say that okay, we spend a couple of years in order to publish this paper. So what we need to do, our aim is to reduce this time, and like the time between submission of paper and publication of paper. So this video help you a lot in deciding the journals. After deciding that what kind of paper you are publishing, then you need to look into the type of journals available for publications. So journals are basically either paid journal or unpaid journal. My preference is that always target unpaid journals, because paid journals are sometimes compromise on the quality of paper. So I would suggest you to target unpaid journals, because you need to look into your long time perspective, because in the long run unpaid journal gonna benefit you a lot. If, for example, if you move from one country to another, so then it's gonna be useful that if you are like publishing papers in universally accepted journals. But in a local context, for example, you're sitting in Pakistan and then you want to meet publication requirements in order to be promoted to next cadre, so it's fine if you can target paid journals as well, but I would suggest you need to target unpaid journals. But within unpaid journals, we have different databases like Scopus, Social Science Citation Index, and JCR, Thomas Reuters journals. Within these lists, even there are certain other indexes are there, but I would suggest you to go for JCR Thomas Reuters list. That is more reliable, more authentic. You need to target this JCR Thomas Reuters list. That is very important. So from first you need to target unpaid journal, and within the unpaid journal you need to look into Thomas Reuters list. That's what you need to do. Now what you need to do, basically how you can find, now the question arises that how we can find JCR Thomas Reuters journals list. So the firstly what you need to write in Google, so I'm going to write like JCR Thomson Reuters. Thomson, it's a word basically Thomson. So like, and we need to correct here as well, Thomson. So you need to write in Google like JCR full journal list 2019, and then click here, so you will have this one. And if you're gonna download, yes, this is the Web of Science collaborative analytics. Like this, and in the bottom, GCR Thomas journal list. So like these are the journals. Like you can see, these are the journals, abbreviated titles, country, origin, and country, whether it's science journal or social science journal. So like these signs, selected sign will help you to that whether it's a science journal or social science journal. So according to your category, I mean, if you are publishing, you belong to a social science journal, so you can target social science journals. Otherwise, you can target science journals. It depends upon where you are publishing, basically. So, like that. Firstly, you need to download the JCR Thomas Reuters list. Then download PDF file and search the journal name. For example, I have downloaded this one. So, for example, what I can do, I can like uh, governance. There are 2 journals, 4 journals: the corporate governance, international review. Then look into 10 journals: economic of governance, and environment policy and governance, and global governance, international journals, policy administration, uh, and then leadership and governance, politics and governance. So like based on your nature of work, research works, you can find it out, the relevant channel. So you can shortlist that those channels. Search the journal names through writing some keywords. That's what you need to do. Uh, like in this way, you will find the list of journals. Then what you need to do, from those journals you need to shortlist the journals. For example, I'm say publishing paper in corporate governance and CSR disclosure. So I find around 10 paper, around 10 journals of governance. Now I need to find that whether all these 10 journals, short journals, are publishing mean corporate governance and CSR. So all the 10 journals might not be publishing on these things. So I need to shortlist it. Okay, these are the possible journals. So from the master list, we will find shortlist some journals. Say we find 4 journals that are publishing in corporate governance. And how you can shortlist journals: write the keywords. For example, I wrote governance, so you can write environment, social, corporate, human resource, governance, accounting, finance, marketing, emerging market. Basically, it depends upon the nature of work you have. As I told you that I'm publishing in corporate governance, so that's why I wrote governance only. And then I find 10 journals, and then out of 10 I selected that these 4 are relevant journals. Now out of these shortlisted journals, you need to target the shortlisted journals. Out of 4, you decided 4, that from the list of 10 you decided 4, and now you need to from these 4 you need to decide that whether you're gonna target the 1, say 2, and 3rd and 4th, which one. In order to make this decision, you need to keep in mind these things. First thing, so from those 4 journals, you need to like look into the scope of those shortlisted journals. Look into the scope, whether which journal is publishing the work highly relevant to you. So then look into the scope of all the shortlisted journals. Then if the scope matches, so based on the scope you will further shortlist the journals. For example, out of 4, so if you look into the scope, you came to know that okay, these 2 journals are highly relevant to your work. Then based on the scope, you further what you need to do, you need to look at the frequency of publication, that how many issues they are publishing in 1 year, whether 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. Mostly they biannually, quarterly, or monthly, or bi-monthly could be. So look into the frequency of the publication. So that's going to help you out that which journal you need to target first. Then Another parameter that you need to look into, that the time for publication. Some journal took more than 1 year for publication. So then you need to take another indicator, that time of publication. So you look in scope, and you need to look at highly relevant and somehow less relevant, and then look into the frequency of publications. One journal might be publishing 4 issues, and second journal might be publishing 2 issues. So then, okay, write 4 and 2, and then time of publication, that how much time they take in order to publish the paper. And in order to do, what do you need to do? You need to go to the website of the journals, and then website, for example, I'm going to a journal, say Corporate Social Responsibility Environmental Journal. So these are papers, so you need to download some paper. Because it's not freely available. So when you're going to download it, you will find this kind of information, when it was first submitted, and then acceptance dates and publication dates. So the time between submission and acceptance, so that will help you out, that how many months it took in order to get the paper accepted or published. So that's what you can do basically, and this will give you an idea that how much time they are taking in order to publish the paper. And these 3 informations are usually written on the published paper. So I can search paper from my databases. I can show you that okay, so let me show you that this is the Journal of Corporate Social Responsibility Environmental Journal. Okay, look into this. It was received on June 16 and revised on November 2016. It's mean it was submitted on June and then revised. It mean they give a feedback before November 27. It's mean July, August, September, October, November. It's mean within 4 months they give us a feedback, and the author revised the paper and then resubmitted it. So it's been within a couple of a few months it was revised and then submitted. And when it was revised, look into 27 and 29, very swift response. Within 2 days they give the response. So in this way you can find that how much time they are taking in order to give the response. So visit the website journal, download the latest article, check the submission date and acceptance date or revised date. So it will help you out that how much time they are taking in order to publish the paper. Now you target the journal. So from shortlisted journal, you target the journal. Okay, this is my first journal, this is my second journal. Firstly, I will submit to the first journal, and then based on that response, you may target the same, or you can target another journal. Now these are another tips that they are very important. When you target the journal, now sometimes what we happens that we select the journal. Okay, this is the highly relevant journal, and we just simply submit our work to that journal. I would advise you few things. Don't take hasty decision. Wait for few days and revise that paper according to the journal. What is my advice? What you need to do basically, find relevant article published in that journal, in targeted journals for the journal that you are going to target. So you need to find relevant paper or articles from that journal, download that articles, and then try to know how did they write in this and that paper. That will help you out to structure your article, to rewrite your article, to organize the contents of your article. That's gonna be helpful. Read few articles at least, so that you could revise your work. Secondly, cite some journals latest paper into your paper. Cite latest journals papers into your research works. That's what you need to do. And my last advice, that is very important. For example, sometimes we have a potential, we do not have a potential to publish the polish the paper up to greatest level. For example, if I'm writing something and I have a certain threshold level that I can update paper up to certain level, but beyond that level I cannot improve my paper. So what is my advice? So what you need to do, basically you need to contact to authors, notable authors publishing in the same field in which you are working, basically, and try to request them that, okay, I want to work with you, and I would request you that I'm working on this paper, and I request you to please be a co-author with me, and improve my paper and give me a feedback, so that I could like submit to this journal. I'm aiming to target this journal. So try to contact notable authors publishing in your field. They're going to help you out. They're going to help you a lot. So in this way, you can contact some notable authors publishing in your field as a co-author, and they can improve your paper, and that can increase like greater chances of being published. That's going to increase your chances of publication. So that is my life, and that is useful advice. So in this way you can approach like international journals, and this exercise, if you are following these steps, it will substantially reduce your time for publication. I hope you have enjoyed this video. So thank you very much. In order to get useful videos, please subscribe my channel, that is EBEFoum. Thank you very much.